Oh, boy. Okay. We're going old school here. We're just using the cell phone. And we're going to see if this works for us. Um, wow. This is crazy. So basically, I'm just going now on just my cell phone. Let me know if you guys can actually see me. Can you see me? Oh, wait. Oh, I thought we ended that one. Okay. Let me end that other one. So I've actually got two going. Hold up. Okay. That was weird because, wow, I changed up systems here to, I actually ended one stream and it should be starting another one. So hopefully, damn, this has just been a nightmare. Hopefully you guys are onto the new stream. Um, and let's see if I can find the chat. Okay, there we go. All right, so welcome the 6 people who are watching now. Okay, what I ended up having to do is I just had to cut off the Mevo, and let's see if this is actually going to work. And looks like it is running. Well, I tried the other setup because I want to be able to go from the inside to outside. But it's problems with the Wi-Fi between the indoors and outdoors, so I'm going to have to do something a little bit different. X Factor, how are you doing? Okay. So let me know, can you guys hear me okay now? Because basically I'm using a little shotgun mic on my cell phone, so this is just kind of like uh, the way I normally would do if I was on the road or someplace else. And let me adjust the camera too because it's kind of high. Okay. See, this is where if you were ESPN, that you have it made because you're not trying to figure all this stuff out. All this stuff is ready to go when you get there. Okay, we're ready. Laugh out loud. So for about the umpteenth time, you owe us a private barbecue for this? Okay, Dan. Well, I'll tell you what. How about you just come by for the game on Sunday, and I'll hook a brother up. Um, well, this is my backyard. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you must be rich." No, I built everything. Okay, I'm poor. I built myself. You see these benches right here? These are made out of 2x4, fur 2x4s. I built this stuff. Okay, so the plants, of course, I bought from Home Depot. I didn't grow those, but all of the work and stuff that I do, I enjoy doing it. I like to enjoy the space. Um, so I tried to get this together. Oh, we got Ed Oliver. Oh man, Ed. Keep the faith, brother. Keep the faith. Sooner or later, they'll get rid of Jay Gruden. And I think it'll be after the New England game. No, don't give Ed, listen, don't give Ed too much grief. He gets enough grief. He's a Redskin fan. Can you guys hear me okay? I've got the shotgun mic on. It's actually kind of pointing over this way. Hopefully it's same pork ribs. Okay. Yes, sound is good. Okay. All right. So I just learned something. Instead of trying to use the Mevo camera and everything out here, just use my damn cell phone and a shotgun mic. That's all I need to do. The only problem is it's all the way over there, so I can't really change the view unless I get up and old school move it around. But I appreciate you guys all being here. Yeah, Russell Wilson is a bad man. And I think Seattle's going to take care of business on this one. Jet, you killed me with that, dude. Like you said, if the apocalypse happens, you want me to be by my other side. Okay. So you're saying I'm a MacGyver here now, huh? Okay. Ghost pepper wings. Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, my mother, and I didn't put that clip up yesterday, but I was at my mother's house yesterday, and she gave me, she pickled habanero peppers, which are like ghost peppers. I got a whole jar with nothing of those on there, and wee, I'm gonna make me a nice sandwich, put about 3 or 4 of those on there. Those will wake yourself up, and those are like 2 burn peppers. They burn going in and burn going out. So again, everybody, I apologize for all the technical difficulties that I had getting this thing going. I appreciate you guys sticking with me here. So we're still working and learning. Hopefully the stream is okay now. So back to our Cowboys, because a lot of people are worried because of the game that we had. Like I was saying, think about New England. New England, they play the Washington Redskins this week that don't have a win. They have literally played all of the worst teams in the NFL. The only good team that New England has faced thus far is Buffalo. And they've owned their division forever. So when they blow out the Redskins at Oliver this weekend, and hopefully finally put the final nail in the coffin for Jay Gruden, are we going to look and say that New England is an awesome team? Or you kind of say, well, they really haven't played anybody. The only team that they faced that was any good was Buffalo, and Tom Brady looked like Kirk Cousins. Their offense scored 9 points, 3 field goals. So you have to question that, but of course the talking heads will never question New England. And the Cowboys were basically in the same boat. That game honestly could have gone either way. Had we not had a couple of things that went against us, from the pass interferences to the fumbles, the fumble that wasn't a fumble, those things killed us in that game. If those things didn't happen, all of a sudden we squeak out with a victory, and people are saying the Cowboys and New England, best 2 teams in football. So you win some games that you shouldn't win, and you lose some that you shouldn't lose. That's the nature of the beast. And in the end, it's how many of these do we put together. Now, I will lose my cool if the Cowboys lose this weekend. That's where all of a sudden you say, wait a minute now. Because now you're talking about losing a second game in the NFC. Seattle looks like they've rebounded, and now they just got another touchdown. So the Rams are not doing very good right now at all. So you have to question and say, okay, all right, Seattle and New Orleans are looking like the cream of the crop. But also keep in mind, I want you to think about this too. As we watch, Jerry Bowman, thank you very much for that super chat. Oh, I like pissing off Eagle fans, man. I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things in life, is to piss off Eagle fans. Oh, let me do something here. This might make life better for the computer out here. Take the Ethernet cable. I see I'm going to have to do some more work, because I think that's is that an Ethernet cable? No, that's not an Ethernet. What is that? No, that's not an Ethernet cable. Damn. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. Um, but yeah, I enjoy pissing off Eagle fans. That's one of the things that I literally wake up every day hoping to do is piss those guys off because, well, they're Eagle fans. Okay. And I've lost my stream in here. Hold on. So I can see the comments. I've got to figure out how to get my Wi-Fi to work better out here. Because this is kind of annoying. I'm one that I really and honestly truly hate to do stuff half-assed, but I really wanted to do this outside. Twan Eagles, how you doing, man? We were just talking about you guys, how I piss you guys off, and I say how much I enjoy pissing off Eagle fans. You hear sirens? No. I don't hear any sirens out here. What I hear are actually the crickets out here. Get a strong. Actually, I've got a Verizon net system, but it's in the house, and I think the block wall is part of the problem here. That's what I have. I got the mesh system, but it does not work out here in my backyard. I think mainly because the main router is upstairs, and then the booster, one of them is inside on the block wall, said it just doesn't do it. I'm seeing the comments. Is it freezing up on you guys, Zen? Well, yeah, the Eagles basically have a bye week this week against the Jets. New Mexico in the house. What's happening? And see now, so as we start looking around the NFC, right now there's a couple teams you have to say defense stinks, and right now that's the Rams and the Eagles. So the Rams have a pretty good offense, but most of the points they scored last week was in garbage time. So their offensive line stinks to the Rams, so you can't say that they're exactly a juggernaut. Seattle, of course, playing at home is always good, but I still say they're rebuilding. But Russell Wilson is playing on a whole nother level. The Eagles, they have a good offense, but their defense leaves a lot to be desired. New Orleans, I would say, is probably the most complete team right now, offense and defense, when they get Drew Brees back. We'll find out more about Green Bay this week, but I think Green Bay's run defense is going to be their Achilles heel. Looking into it, it's amazing what a difference a running game makes, doesn't it? Dak Prescott gets, he can't do anything because he's got Zeke Elliott. It's all Zeke. But if you look at the Eagles this past week, 160 yards is all Carson Wentz threw for. He got 3 touchdowns, but they got more yards on the ground. And you look at 2017 when they won the Super Bowl, they had a great rushing attack. They were 3rd in the NFL in running the football. So clearly, running the football is a quarterback's best friend, regardless of what the talking heads will tell you. That is the honest-to-God truth. But here's the problem with the Eagles, is their secondary. Their secondary cannot cover. Remember, we're talking about the Eagles that gave up 27 to the Redskins. The Redskins they gave 27 points up to, okay? That Eagles defense is not that good when it comes to the secondary. You can pass on that team. That's why they're looking at trying to get Jalen Ramsey. They're talking about giving up a king's ransom for him. Mark, Bob Bullet Hayes fan from Waldorf. How you doing, man? You're not that far away. Well, actually, what's good for us right now is pretty much Tyron Smith is about the only one who's really not practicing. You end up getting Tyrone Crawford is actually practicing some now on a limited basis. Lyle Collins is back practicing on a limited basis and should be able to play on Sunday. So we're basically going to have a full cast of characters. Um, but Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is owned playing in Dallas. That's the wild card right there. But the thing I'm going to ask about with Aaron Rodgers is, and I wonder if going down the stretch against the Eagles was when he got hit and had that strip fumble on his wrist, did he bruise that? Did he injure that at all? Because it seemed like he wasn't throwing with quite as much velocity in the end and couldn't be able to punch it in. So you have to question, is Aaron Rodgers 100? Rams fumbled the ball, so the Rams are imploding right now. It is Seattle's ball. Wow. Rams, 2 drives, 2 field goals, looked like they had it going. Sean McVay looks like a deer caught in the headlight if you're watching. Wow. Wow. He looked bewildered as shit. They might be mad about it, but they don't have the horses to really go ahead and run with it, though, I don't think. Small change, the wrench is actually a moderator. And I actually make people have the wrench. And that gives them the power to block people and things and stuff. Unless I really know you, and I'm sorry, but I'm seeing you just for the first time, I don't just give wrenches to everybody. So the Rams are definitely imploding. Sean McVay, spoiled rich kid. Wow, that's cold. Seattle is definitely kicking butt on this one. He was down. That's a Todd Gurley fumble. Ouch. Well, you know, Spoon Jones, as much as everybody's been on the Rams jock, I said, here's what happens. And I went through the numbers. This is kind of amazing. I'm a math guy, okay? You know, I can't pronounce names. I don't read real well and things like that, but I'm a number and a stats guy. But if you go through teams that go to the Super Bowl from the NFC over the course of the last 15 years, on average, they drop about 3 games from that Super Bowl. You look at the Eagles last year. They were 13-3 when they went to the Super Bowl. They were 9-7 last year. You look at the Atlanta Falcons. You know, they went to the Super Bowl. They made the playoffs, but I think they were 9-7 as well. They dropped a few games. You look at Carolina. Carolina, they really dropped because it's a Super Bowl hangover. You're playing a longer season, which means you have less time to heal. Because think about it. Your last game is in February. The league year starts. Whoa, that was kind of cool. Nice little fire devil there. It's the devil. We've got a little crosswind that's kind of coming through this. So that was kind of wild. But back to what I was saying. So they have a longer season and a shorter off season to heal. And when you lose a game like they did, when they literally did not show, I think Jared Goff lost some confidence in that game. You looked at those 2 passes he had guys wide open, was late delivering the ball, and lose that game. And now all of a sudden you got Todd Gurley who, you know, now it's a catch-22. He's fumbled, he's disgruntled, and he's injured. So, and you owe him a whole lot of money. So now you got that dynamic. Your offensive line is in flux because you got rid of 2 good offensive linemen, and they're hurting. I think that you might see the Rams continue to go downhill, and when everybody was on the jock, like they always are, you know, they go through and say, every playoff team, they're going to be good next year, with the exception of the Cowboys. They automatically said the Rams, great team. Just like they said the Eagles, best big old team in football. They should repeat. And what happened to them last year? They dropped to 9-7. So you're seeing the natural course of things with the Rams. And you always see a couple of teams that nobody thinks a lot about that come around. One of those might be the Lions. Fear of the lion. Hey, neighbors. Bring out cow patty? Nah, not tonight. Like I'm on, oh, whoa, Bird Gang. Dude, like I would give a wrench to a stinking Eagle fan? Are you kidding me? You would go through and just block every Cowboy fan that's out there. How stupid do you think I am? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, Russell Wilson is kicking ass already tonight. If they call him down, that's bull. Yeah. Well, it looks like the Rams are having a second bad night because they had a bad night last week against Tampa Bay. Um, am I putting a little? No, I think it's the dark colors. But I may have put on a couple pounds. Block Bird Gang ASAP. What did Bird Gang do? Well, wait. Remember, the Lions also beat the Eagles. The Lions, they came close. I mean, they kept Pat Mahomes down under 400 yards. That's an amazing feat in itself. This thing is kind of cool. This thing's like blowing up like a torch here. Um, he'd rather have Kyler Murray. Oh, wow, Shango. Really, Shango? I missed that one. I sure hope that Zeke balls this week. If he doesn't ball this week against that run defense of the Packers, then he's never going to. You start looking at some of the numbers on that Packers run defense. They have given up some major yards. In fact, Russell Wilson is just killing them. This is going to be a blowout by halftime. Let me look. I'm looking at the stats on. I just want to give you guys what they've been giving up on the ground because they've been giving up a lot of yardage on the ground. On the ground against the Bears, they gave up 139 yards rushing. Against the Vikings, they gave up 68. Against the Redskins, 106. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. Wait. I'm looking at because they gave up 180 some. I must be looking at the wrong year. Hold up. No wonder I'm looking at 2018. Duh. I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. Okay, let's get this straight here. Okay. All right, so Cruising 26, how are you doing? All right, so here's what they've given up rushing the football. Now, first game was against, they played the Bears, the Vikings, Denver, and Philadelphia. All right, so rushing the yards, 46 the first game, which they did great. But then against the Bears, 198 yards. Then against the Denver Broncos, they gave up 149 yards. And then to the Eagles, 176 yards. That's not good. That's not good at all. I mean, the Eagles had 5.3 yards a carry. Denver, which has no offense whatsoever, got almost 4 yards a carry running the ball. The Minnesota Vikings got 7.3 yards per carry on the ground. And the Bears, well, they only got 3.1. But if those teams can run the football and we can't, then there's a big problem. Dak will have over 100 yards rushing Sunday. I don't care how they get a win. I just want to win. And I don't care what the score is. Just get me a win over Aaron frickin' Rodgers. You know, Aaron Rodgers has been like our kryptonite. He's always been that thorn in our side. And I hate Aaron frickin' Rodgers. You know, the one time I root for them to win, they can't win. Screw them. I hate them. Hate them. Hate frickin' Aaron Rodgers and that crew. So you can definitely bet that we're going to have a heavy dose of the run game. Bridgewater didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. I forgot this is a tablet. Well, I think they need to get back to what they were doing earlier, the first couple of games. Get back to the play action. Play action has been our best buddy thus far this year. Having play action has been really, really good in keeping people on balance. I'm still worried a little bit about Amari Cooper because Amari didn't seem like he had that same burst. We know he had that MRI early part of the week. And the question you have to add is that a little bit worse than what we're led on to believe, that maybe it's a little bit more and it's something to worry about, then it'll be a nagging injury. What I kind of hope is, wow, Russell Wilson has got a perfect QBR just about. 190 yards, 2 TDs versus Jared Goff looking like some doo-doo. Cruising. You could, cruising, you know, I want to thank you for the super chat, but you know what? I appreciate that. But no, we don't want them to beat us. Well, Joshua, maybe he did have his hands on that, but he's got to know that he's coaching for his job. So whatever he's got to do to try and make sure they get a win, he better make sure they get a win because Jerry ain't playing no more. Looks like the Rams stopped him on 3rd down, so they're going to have to try a field goal. Give Curzon his $2 back. I wish I could. Yes, Dallas Portman. We lost it. You know, here's what's funny. If Jason Witten doesn't fumble that ball, I guarantee you we go down and score a touchdown. 4th and 1, we get that first down from Zeke Elliott, we got some momentum. We get that thing going. Things like that happen sometimes. You know, I'm amazed at how quickly people turn in Dallas. Guys, we're 3-1. 3-1. We lead our division. We got 2 victories already in our division. We've been 15-5 in our division since Dak Prescott's been there. We've owned it. Relax a little bit. I can't believe that you guys are this pent up over one loss against a good team on the road. My God. Relax a little bit. You guys will have a heart attack between the game, man. Cowboys are still your team. I would hate to think that they're going for it 4th and 1. Uh-oh. They're going for the jugular. Okay, they're faking it. They're not going to hike it. Yeah, he's not going to hike. He was trying to draw him off sides. Worth a shot. Dude, we've lost 2 regular season games in the last 11. How much losing is that? Really? We lost 1 freaking game this season. 1. Did you think we were going to go 16-0? Hmm? Did you really? Did you really think we were going to go 16-0? My prediction was 11-5. So we're going to lose a couple more. You do realize that there's only one team in the NFC that's undefeated, right? And that's the 49ers. No good on the kick. The 49ers who are off this week. You realize that, right? That everybody in the NFC has a loss except for San Francisco. Well, you know what? I've spent enough energy on that one. Listen, you went toe-to-toe on the road with New Orleans in their house, okay? You're watching. You see what Seattle's doing right now? You see how good Seattle is doing right now? You know what New Orleans did in their house, right? New Orleans kicked their teeth in. New Orleans beat the living crap out of them, stole their lunch money, threw sand in their face, and then spit on them on the way out the door to Seattle. Seattle, who's destroying the Rams this week. Understand, the NFL is one of those crazy things where it's a week-to-week league. You can be a world beater one week, and the next week you can be straight doo-doo. And it's about being hot at the right time. Yes, we lost. We lost when we definitely weren't on our best game. You could look at that game and say, damn, Dak can throw better than that. You say, damn, Zeke can run better than that. Offensive line can block better than that. Jason Witten can hold on to the ball better than that. With all of those things that went wrong, that you know you can improve on, then you say, we can beat them. We weren't outmanned. Because sometimes you can play your best ball. You'll go against somebody and you know that I had the best game of my life and you still lose because you know that you don't have the talent to hang with them. You got the talent to hang with New Orleans. You got the talent to hang with any of these guys. But some days you're fighting the referees. Some days you just have a ball bounce the wrong way. Some days you just don't have it. Stop going crazy over one game that was close. Jared Goff is some straight garbage. And you know, Raymond, you and me both. It was crazy because last year when we were 3-5, I had so many people that were, I'm out, I'm done. I'm not ever watching the Cowboys again until Jerry Jones no longer owns the team. You know, this team is a bunch of losers. You know, and they kept coming at me and saying, admit it. Dak Prescott sucks. Dak Prescott sucks. Mark, admit it. You're crazy. He sucks. Just say it. Just say it. I'm like, I'm not going to say it. I'm like, the season ain't over. It ain't over. And I said, until it is, I'm not going to give up hope on it. But it's amazing because all those people who said, I'm done, this team sucks, including Troy Aikman, mind you. Troy Aikman said, well, it's time to blow the whole thing up from the head to the tail, everything, and start all over. It's amazing by the end of the season how he changed his tune, isn't it? So stop giving up when we have 12 freaking games. You got to believe and understand one thing. Whether it's football or whether it's stuff in your life, if you don't believe something can happen, it won't. Regardless of what it is. In order for something to happen, you have to believe first it's going to happen. Because if you don't believe that can happen, your body, your mind, it won't even be able to accomplish this. It'll be like, why am I doing this? It's not going to work. You understand what I'm saying? if I listen to everybody who said things to me, oops, what happened to my chat? What happened? What happened to everything? Oh, there it is. I pushed something on my tablet and everything went away. Um, Times are different now than when I grew up. When I grew up, I was basically pigeonholed. And it was because I had a learning disability. I'm dyslexic. And still today, a lot of times I'll put a title up there, and when I write it, it seems in my mind that it's okay, but it's backwards. 3s and 5s, C's and E's, and D's and B's. In my mind, somehow it processes it backwards. And I have a problem, as you guys know, when I pronounce names or try and read something phonetically. And it's funny because people will go ahead and write it out phonetically and say, there it is, that's how you pronounce it. And it's just like I'm looking at a bunch of jumbled words. And so in school, they basically pigeonholed you, and they said, take these resource classes and stuff, and do trades and things. Forget about going to college and things like that. So in school, I was never challenged. I never took a foreign language. I wish I had. And didn't take a lot of advanced classes because they basically said you don't have the aptitude for it. And basically, they told me that there's no point in you worrying about going to college. Just get a skill, pump gas or something. And I decided to just go ahead and take the SATs. Now, I think the SATs are a little different now. There's 3 parts, but back in my day, there was the math and comprehension. And I took the SATs, and I got 1190. And they immediately said, did you cheat? And they made me take it again. Because before when I took it, we took it all, a group of people, tons and tons of people. The next time I took it, I was the only person in there. And I got 1160. And they still couldn't believe it. They're like, how did you get that? Just took the test. And so I ended up getting accepted at JMU and Virginia Tech. And people looked at me and said, how the hell did you get accepted there? What the hell's going on? I did good on the SATs. But I couldn't speak in public. And I didn't have really the class and the school backgrounds to really succeed. And I could not speak in public very well. It would scare me to death to speak in public. And originally I was doing on Facebook Jobu Sports Reports, which were easy because I could just get Jobu and I could talk behind Jobu, and that was great. And then I started writing for Cover 32. My wife, she's a writer. She writes stuff for, United Way and things like that. You've read stuff that she's done and just had no clue that my wife's done it. She's got that shit down perfect. Can't do math. I got the math part in the house. She takes care of that stuff. But when I started working for Cover 32, I could write it out, and I would get her to go ahead and proofread it, edit it. And it's funny because I'm like, honey, they want me to write stuff, and I'm like, I'm not a writer. And she's like, actually, you are. She said, the mechanics aren't there. She said, but your thought process. She said, I'm not changing your thought process at all. I'm just fixing the words. She said, you don't understand. I've got people that I have to, president of United Way, or, people that have got these master's degrees and stuff like that. And they have stuff that they've written that are just crap. They're not writers. She's like, you got it. You just don't have the mechanics on it. It's like, okay, I appreciate that, honey. I know you're just saying that because, you're my wife. She's like, no, I'm serious on that. But when I started doing YouTube, not being able to work with a computer real well, not being able to speak well in public, people said, you can't do this. You're too old. But in my mind, I said, you know what? I can do this. I believe in it. And once I got the idea in my head, and when I get something in my head that I want to accomplish, believe me, I find a way to get it done. No matter what the odds. I believe it, I make it become a reality. I'm not good looking. I'm young. I'm computer challenged. You can see I have a hard time getting this shit to work, but I bust my ass because I believe that I can do it. And so, I say to you people out there who keep having this defeated attitude, if that is your attitude in life, that woe is me, why bother because it's not going to happen, nothing will ever happen to you. You got to believe and stop putting out all the negative energy out there. I didn't give up hope last year in my Dallas Cowboys. I believed. I put it out there in the universe. I talked to everybody that would listen who laughed at me and said, "You're an idiot for believing. Are you're rooting for the Cowboys? You're still a Cowboy fan at 3-5? Season over. They're done, man. Everybody needs to go." But I believed. I believed, and I kept working towards it. And that's where I am right now with this Dallas Cowboy team. As much as crap that we heard last year that Dak Prescott can't throw downfield, well, he's almost tripled the amount of passes he's going downfield and being more successful. You know, we'd have told that, Zeke Elliott, he's not going to be signed, he's not going to be able to play and everything else. He got signed, didn't he? Our defense that 5 years ago was one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Now it's one of the better defenses. I look at the talent that we have at wide receivers that we didn't have. When was the last time we had this much talent at wide receivers? I know we still got Jason Garrett, but you know what? I see some innovations with Kellen Moore. That we're trying things that we weren't trying before. It doesn't mean it's going to work every single time, because believe me, I've done a lot of shit here on YouTube because I throw shit on the wall. Some of it sticks, some of it falls right off. But you keep working at it every single day. So I go back to you ones that keep saying, this team stinks, I'm tired of losing. You know what? Be thankful that this team is 3-1 as opposed to being 3-5 like we were last year. Be thankful that we are relatively getting healthy. Be thankful that they're doing things better than they did before. Be thankful that we got backup players to fill in when we do lose some of these players. Be thankful that this team seems to be headed in a better direction than we've been in before. Just look at 2015. Once we lost Dez, once we lost Tony Romo, 4-15. Look at 2017. You lost Tyron Smith, you had Chaz Green. You lost Sean Lee, you had nobody. You lost Zeke Elliott, you had Alfred Morris. You lose Zeke Elliott, you got a Tony Pollard. You lose Tyrone Crawford, Tyrone Crawford, actually you've got a Robert Quinn. You lose Tyron Smith, you got a Cam Fleming. We're in better position than we've been in a long time. Yet so many of you guys are out there just losing your mind and losing sleep and talking about how bad we are. Pablo. Check out defense tackle Derek Brown. He's perfect. Oh my God, my dad, yes, he still watches the Cowboys. My dad, I can't believe he's 80 years old. Yeah. His two reasons for becoming a Cowboy fan were Bob Bullet Hayes and because the Redskins were the last team to integrate. We got North Carolina, Ohio, California in the house. Hot dog up in Maine. Yes, Q. It's easy to see. Take it easy. What's up? I'm sorry. Sometimes I just start preaching. But I got to tell you that hard work will get you a lot. You might not be the brightest, you may not have all the advantages, but if you can outwork people. I have a lot of YouTubers um, that don't like me, and I think it's because they look at my numbers, or people don't like me because I've been beginning to get successful on YouTube, and I got a long ways to go. Believe me, I got a long ways to go. But nothing bothers me worse than somebody who sits around complaining about others without putting in the work themselves. I'll do anything to help somebody who's out there working and trying to make it, because we all could use a break. We all can use a little bit of help, a little nudge to help get up on the mountain. But the ones that just sit around and just bitch and whine and just expect everything to come to them, screw you. Screw you. Take responsibility for yourself and where you are in life. I'm great on the football field, but as far as the person or around the person, I'm not as good as Mark. FanDuel is rigged. How can you get my email? It's cowboysmark94@gmail.com. And I tell you what, I work every day. And at the end of the day, I like to come out here and reflect and think, did I do everything I could to become better? Um, Understand not everything that you do is going to work. Tonight, well, Lord knows, my first the streaming when I started, I had sewer line back up and literally covered with sewage. Had to run upstairs, take a shower, get cleaned up, get back down here and try and do something new, which was trying to live stream from out here. Didn't work out the way I envisioned it to, but you try new things. Never get settled on just being content. I can never be content. I always want to do better. I may be doing great today, but you know what? 2 months from now, I want to be doing even better. Okay? And unless you have that drive, you're not going to really achieve that much. You got to keep that drive. You got to keep pushing the envelope every single day. So, have I bored you guys to death with Markism? You know, that seems to be the main take from a lot of people. They think that Jason Garrett interfered with the play calling. Oh, this is definitely chill. Well, actually, it's better when I have all the cushions out here. Maui, I got to be honest with you. Well, actually, let me give you my theory here. Actually, make sure it's not too hot for my laptop. Um, think about this. Jerry Jones is a master manipulator. Think about where we were last year, going into the bye week. Just think back. We were hearing rumors about who's going to replace Jason Garrett. We were hearing that Scott Linehan might get fired during the bye week, that the Cowboys were definitely moving on. And of course, you kind of had to, because we were some bullshit. What's interesting is Jason Garrett is a survivor. Every time it seems like Jason Garrett is about to be gone, something happens. Think about it. We were 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and they didn't renew his contract. They put him on blast. And what happened? Boom. 2014. Saved him. 2015. Boom. Tony Romo goes down. Backup quarterback, we could only win one game out of 12. Jason Garrett on the hot seat. Tony Romo goes down again. What happens? Dak Prescott. Here it is. Jason Garrett on the hot seat. Last year, We were talking about replacements for him. Troy Aikman even said, time to blow it up and start all over. Everybody knew that Jason Garrett was a dead man walking. What happened? Team turned it around, playoffs. In my mind, I'm thinking that Jerry Jones is saying, you know what? Every time we think Jason Garrett's going to get fired, when the rumors start, that's when things kind of turn around. Well, instead of waiting until we get into a bad losing streak, why don't we put him on blast right now? We don't go ahead and sign him to a new deal. We go ahead and say he's going to play. People ask about it. We're not talking about it. That's the plan here. Let's make sure that Jason Garrett, he's like a cockroach. A nuclear bomb can go off, and that damn cockroach will still be around. Let's go ahead and keep him on blast. Let's keep him fighting for his job, because guess what? He'll be successful. And that, in a way, is kind of a, could be a little something to that. Am I crazy? I know I am. But putting Jason Garrett on blast, making him have to fight for his job, I don't like it when people know, no matter what I do, I'm not going to lose my job. I like you to feel a little uncomfortable. I like you to think that if I don't succeed, I'm out of here. I got to hit the road, Jack. And I think that's kind of what Jerry's kind of doing now. He's trying a different approach, because every other year it used to be, Jason Garrett's going to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys for a long time. He's our guy. We believe in him. We like what we get from him, Whether or not we make the playoffs, he's not on the hot seat. And what do we get with that? Seems like when he's on the hot seat is when he's performed. So I think that's where his butt's sitting right here in the fire right now. That's my thought. This is weird. I have not used this as a tablet before, so it's kind of strange for me. And now I've lost my chat. What's up, Cowboys fan up north? Q, what's up? Blue Blood. Dallas Portman, you know what? In the NFL, you win any games, you should feel good. Because you know what? In 2017, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they played a lot of teams that were bad. They didn't say, oh, well, you know what? We had a fourth-place schedule. We don't feel good about winning the Super Bowl. You think New England feels bad about playing three bad teams and winning those? You think they feel bad about being in the worst division in football for about the last 20 years, where they don't ever get challenged, that pretty much they're guaranteed about 6 wins a year? You think they feel bad about that? No. It's the NFL, man. Anybody can beat your ass. Come on, man. Sometimes you guys drive me crazy. What happened to my chats? Oh, I tell you what I can't wait for. I have a whole bunch of new shirts. So by Monday, I should start getting some. So I've got colors. I've got cow patty. I've got Jobu's day job. We got all kinds of stuff. Daryl T, you're watching me on your phone and Dak's press conference on YouTube. There you go. Now that's a true Cowboys fan. Well, I'm going to watch this series right here with the Rams, and then I'm going to carry my butt to bed. Oh, I'm picking Seattle. I figure Seattle at home. Seattle at home is always tough to beat. Now it looks like the Rams are getting a little bit of life here, but I will still stick with. Looks like Cooper Kupp is hurt again. When did the Rams get to 13? Boy, did I? When did they get the other touchdown? Cooper Kupp is kind of dancing a little bit on the sidelines there. Kind of landed awkwardly on that knee. He's got some skinny legs. Oh, looks like we have a game after all. Good question. Who would be the head coach? Well, Joshua, you really hate Jason Garrett. Uh, all of a sudden, the Rams have come to life. Uh-oh. That's a scary thought, Victor, that you're going to have a child running around soon. That's a lot of work, buddy. A lot of work. It could be Chris Richard. It could be Kellen Moore. Looks like we definitely have a game going on now. Yeah, I missed that whole score before the half because I know I must have been talking with you guys. I remember Seattle missed a field goal. I definitely missed that. Q, that's wrong, man. Yeah, Victor's about to be a daddy. Congrats, I think. I thought I had responded to all my emails, Garcia. I'm not sure which one I missed. Uh-oh, the Rams take the lead. We got a game going on now. Jersey question. Joshua is asking me about Mike Moss's jerseys. Well, Joshua, here's what I can tell you. On Mike Moss, I've been buying jerseys from him. I think the first one I got was 2012. And you're good with the PayPal. He's not going to rip you off from PayPal. You're okay with that. Don't worry about that one. And then I have West Virginia Cowboy fan. Wanted to say I love you so. Watch you every single day, multiple times a day. Laugh out loud. But trying to start a t-shirt business, but I've been messing around with some different designs and ideas. Could I shoot you some t-shirt ideas to get your input, and maybe we could do a little collaboration and help promote you and your channel and our Cowboys, and also make us a little bit of money. Thanks for everything you do. Love you, Mark. Okay. All right, Tom. Yeah, Tom, definitely send me your ideas. Joshua, I'm not sure what I missed on yours. I got Bill McKnight. This is kind of cool too. Again, this goes back to where it's kind of crazy. Hi, Mark. I'm from Northern Ireland and have been cheering for the Cowboys since 1986. Looking forward to seeing us back in the Super Bowl very soon. Good luck and keep up all the good work, Bill. Ireland. Cowboy fans in Ireland. So, I tell you what, Garcia, send me another email and I'll try and make sure I answer it. I try to answer all of them as possible. So, I can't pronounce the first name. Forgive me. But Garcia, I know is your last name. But send me another email and again, I'll try and make sure I get to it. Q, Victor's in time. What did Victor do now? Oh, Lordy. Now, Facebook messages are harder for me to get to because I've got so many different pages. I'll try and see if I can find it. I put a deck. Whoa, Ernest, thank you very much for the super chat. Ernest, I don't have jerseys. I have Jobu shirts. I have Teesprings, um, Jobu Sport. I mean Jobu, Cowboy Jobu at Teesprings is where I have my T-shirts. If you actually look on my videos, if you look down past the description, you'll see my Teespring store. If you click on that, you can go to it there. But Mike Mosh, who's on Facebook, does jerseys as well. So thank you, Ernest, for the super chat. I think I missed another super chat in here, didn't I? Melvin, thank you very much for that super chat as well. So what did Victor do to get put in timeout this time? Yeah, Victor, I just can't understand Victor sometimes. I get actually a lot of really nice. Oh, yeah, Maui. He's always talking that. You know, Victor has no filter. He's talking about my wife being juicy and this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, really? It's like, have you ever seen a woman before? And why are you gonna go ahead and disrespect somebody else and say stuff like that? It's like, dude, you need help. You need Jesus, Victor. Hey, Joseph. Hey, Joseph. You said earlier about needing me to build some cabinets to ship to you. I got a better idea. Why don't you just ship me to Arizona, and I'll come there, build the cabinets and everything else, and I can go to Tombstone and see Wyatt Earp and everything else, and that might be cheaper for a flight for me than to ship a whole bunch of cabinets. I'm just saying. Just saying. Victor's enjoying his stream. Of course. You know what Victor's enjoying right now? He's enjoying the fact that we're talking about him. He's sitting there probably like, they're talking about me. They're talking about me. Oh, yes, I'm in timeout. They're talking about me. He's like a crackhead. Oh, I love it when they talk about me. I can't comment, but I love it. Oh, talk some more. Talk some more. So it looks like we're going to be into a shootout here. I don't know, Dan. I think sometimes I feel sorry for Victor. You know, he's kind of like that stray cat or stray dog that's, missing a leg. He's kind of jacked up, missing some teeth, and maybe he's got one eye. And, it's just like, I know I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, but it's just like, I just feel bad for him. You know what I'm saying? Stop shooting meth and clean your act up. That way I can screw with you on the streets of Tombstone. That would actually be really cool to be at Tombstone. How you doing, Deion Sanders? Zeppelin fan, how you doing? Q. I'm telling you, Porter cable. I actually have some pneumatic Porter cable nail guns. I've got some Porter cable routers. In fact, my one that's on my router table, I think I've had for about 15 years. I would stick with Porter cable. The other good thing about Porter cable is if you actually have a problem with it, you can take it to a DeWalt repair center and they will fix it and it'll come back like it's brand new. Craftsman is more like hairy homeowner quality wise. It's okay for a couple of nails and stuff, but if you really want to do some work and stuff on it, I would stick with the Porter cable. One thing I've learned in life is this: you truly get what you pay for. And here's my thing about buying something. I have a criteria. I've got a lot of tools. Some of them cost a whole bunch of money, but I look at it and say, one, will it make the job I'm doing better? Two, will it pay for itself? Three, will it last? And if it fits those criteria, then I'll go ahead and buy it, even though it may cost more than something that might get you by. Never ever buy something that you say, it's not really quite what I need it to do, or it's not really that well built, because what's going to happen is you're going to spend money on that thing and you have to turn around and spend more money to replace it. So don't buy the cheap screw gun, because it'll wear out 2 or 3 times before the one that costs a little bit more money will. So buy good stuff that's going to last. And stay away from the cheap Chinese made shit. I'm telling you. Victor, you're naming your... Sorry, I choked on that one. Okay, Victor. You're naming your son after me. Thank you. Oh, you're going to shoot me out and shoot me down on the streets? Wow. I'd rather you shoot down an Eagle fan. Victor, the MVP of my live streams. Victor, you are not doing well, I see. Yeah. Sometimes you got to shake the tree to get the fruit, Maui. Did I miss something? What? Victor, if you're my number one fan, you wouldn't act like a jackass, okay? I hope Gallup's going to eat. I hope the whole Cowboys eat. They get some cheese. Well, Victor, if you want to be successful, getting people pissed off at you is not the way. And oh, by the way, too, FYI, be careful what you put out on social media, because it might come back to bite you in the ass. Some young lady in Florida applied for a job, and the company went through her Instagram, and she had a picture of her in a bathing suit where the bottom of her boobies, was kind of hanging out. And so this is a total disgrace by the company. So they go through and they post that they're looking for whatever the job title was, not a bikini model. And so they shamed her bikini picture around the company and stuff. Now, maybe your thoughts are, okay, we're a little conservative and we don't want to have somebody that might be a little... I get that, okay? That's not really fair, because she wasn't showing any nudity, maybe a little more than what you want someone to do, but you see what people put out on Instagram. But be careful what you put out there and things that you say, because people now look at your Instagram, your Facebook and all that. And that stuff can come back to bite you in the rear end. The police officer in Dallas, who just got convicted for murdering the guy who was in the apartment below her, part of the sentencing went back to what she posted on social media and said before. So be careful what you say, Victor, out there. I'm just letting you know. You're saying, I want to be successful. Well, you're leaving a paper trail that people will look at and say, this guy's a little unhinged. This guy's got some issues. You know what I'm saying? You need to live your life like people are watching, because guess what? People always are. And I'm going to give you that advice, Victor. That's where you really need to understand, because one of these people in this chat could be somebody that you might be one day applying for a job and has your future in their hands. And they'll say, wait. You're not that Victor that's on Mark Holmes' channel, are you? Oh, yeah, that's me. Click. Jared Goff just gets out of the end zone there before getting to safety. Wow, they didn't tight. Victor's accounts are like cockroaches. Too many to kill. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Up, and Victor gets blocked again. Victor, yes, he's YouTube cockroach famous. Damn. You done pissed off Wyatt Earp. That's not a good person to piss off. Um, Joseph, how about we go ahead and shoot Victor in Tombstone? Victor, you are done here. Damn. Damn, Victor. You screwed up now, buddy. You done screwed up now, Victor. Emily Ann, how are you doing? You haven't seen you much lately. Everything okay, I hope? Because usually you're always sending me links of everything that's going on. What's up? Victor is a nerd. Seattle fans, they're always loud. Yeah, Joseph, I ain't mad at you, buddy. That's true. God is always watching. Victor, that clown. Y'all got jokes. Victor doesn't even realize he's shadow banned. Well, I like I said, Victor's called in the show a few times. I've talked to him and things like that, and I feel sorry for him sometimes. I feel bad for him. I'm still. I don't want to get. That's one of those topics that may be kind of controversial and don't really want to get into it. But you know, I'm sorry. I don't know how you could make that mistake of not realizing that you're not in your apartment and shoot first and not be sure. It's just bad all the way around. Um, I don't even know what to say on that one. The thing that makes Victor crazy is how consistently crazy he is. He is literally like Jekyll and Hyde, man. One minute he's cool as can be, the next minute it's just like he's crazy. Let's hope Meyer doesn't miss one on Sunday. We never knew you. Bye bye, Victor. Oh boy. Oh man, y'all are just cold. All right. Seattle looks like they're rolling again, getting ready to get back in scoring position. Back to the Cowboys. Listen, I think the Cowboys will get back on track. I think Zeke Elliott doesn't like the taste of only having 35 yards, and I think he'll be running the ball pretty good. Damn. It's funny. Seattle's running back here, he manned up, and he lowered the head. And he ran into Reader, and you see Reader's head go back. You know, in the NFL, that's actually a penalty that's only been called twice. I don't know how Russell Wilson just got out of that. Oh my God. And just picked up about 15 yards. If that was the Cowboys on that play, Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard have both been called for lowering the head. He literally lowered the head and hit the guy in the face mask on there. And we've been called, I think, 3 times for that. The only team in the NFL to get called for the running back having unnecessary roughness by lowering the head. And I'm going to tell you, that one right there 2 plays ago was worse than any one that Zeke or Tony Pollard did. But again, you're the Cowboys that gets called. If I absolutely positively had to cheer for another team, which team would it be? Maybe a friend played for, or another JMU alumni. If I had to, oh my God, if I say this, I would have to say New Orleans. And I know people are going to be like, oh, see, oh, he's not really a Cowboy fan. But I would say it because of what New Orleans, the city, has been through with Katrina. And because I've been down there doing service projects down there. And that city is like a city like none other. And mainly because of Demario Davis. Because that's an NFL player that gets it. If I had to be a fan of another team, it would be New Orleans. But I'm not a two-teamer. I'm a one-team guy, and I'm a die-hard Dallas Cowboy. Now, here's a funny one. I had an Eagle fan come in here today that said, I'm lying to you. I'm really a New York Giant fan. What? Touchdown, Seattle. How? What? Giant fan? How you get Giant fan? That was the craziest thing I've ever heard. Giant fan. All right, Seattle's back in the lead if they make the extra point. Oh, boy. I've lost my chats again. No. There we go. Yeah, I mean, call me a lot of things, but don't call me a Giant fan. I mean, that's pretty ugly. A Giant fan. How the hell are you going to call me a Giant fan? All the Cowboys paraphernalia and everything else. Thomas, yes. Victor's back. Uh-oh. Victor, I hope you, Victor, if you're back, that you have actually act like you have some sense. Um, I don't have anything Tom Landry. Unfortunately, before I started really collecting stuff, Tom Landry was out. Um, I do have some old stuff that's was my dad's. I've got a clock in there, alarm clock that's on my desk that actually still ticks. Um, it's an AM FM alarm clock um, that still works. I've got a 25 year anniversary Pepsi bottle that my dad had that's still got the original Pepsi in there. Probably kill you if you opened it. I've got a button from the Miami Super Bowl, although the score is actually incorrect on the button itself. So I do have a few things that are from way back in the day. Oh, and I have a collection of um, Coke bottles for our Super Bowls back in the 90s. So those are tops are kind of rusting on those as well. Yeah, Michael, that's another one of those ones that you say, how is that? Oh, sleep member. There's Dak Prescott. Woohoo! Um, I don't get that one. That Carson Wentz is ranked number one over Pat Mahomes. I just don't understand that one. Victor is very needy. You have a helmet signed by Bob Lilly and Jet Repute. That's nice. I met Jet Repute. I think I've got his autograph, and I think I've got Bob Lilly's too. I got a picture with Jobu with Bob Lilly, in fact. I was kind of born into the Dallas Cowboys too, because my dad was a Cowboys fan. even though we lived in the D.C. metro area. Turning to blue. That's on Victor. Damn, that's cold. Well, Bill, I'll agree with you on that one. That Dak is better than Wentz all day. You know, the funny thing is it seems like there's always Dak Prescott is in a vacuum. That no matter what he does, it's not because of Dak Prescott. It's because of everything around him. Um, when they lose, well, it's Dak Prescott's fault. You know, he didn't elevate the team. So we heard us losing to New Orleans, everybody got the panties in a bunch of stuff. But when New Orleans beat Russell Wilson, nobody got in the panties in a bunch about Russell Wilson. You know, that, oh, New Orleans came in, bitch slapped those guys. You know, Russell Wilson, nothing. You know, you looked at the Rams. The Rams got killed by Tampa Bay, you know. Jared Goff, multiple interceptions, multiple fumbles, and not converting when he needs to. Oh, his offensive line's not good. Todd Gurley's not there. So it's clearly an agenda. Somebody had said to me earlier today, it's like, why is it every show leads, their first story is always about the Dallas Cowboys? Because they know that's where the money is. Sorry. If you lead a story about the Miami Dolphins, who cares? If you lead in with a story about Arizona Cardinals, who cares? Sorry, it's the Dallas Cowboys. The best way to make a name for yourself, see, look at that. Fire even knows. The best way to make a name for yourself is talking about the Dallas Cowboys bet. You guys notice that? Every time I say Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys. Strange things, man. Strange things. Yeah, that whole Minnesota Vikings with Kirk Cousins thing. Whew. Yeah, you think about, they were one play away from being in the Super Bowl and figured all they needed was a quarterback. And, well, the Rams just got in. Uh-oh. We got a shootout here. And now you got Kirk Cousins who's guaranteed for another year. Yeah. Kirk Cousins was wise to get a guaranteed contract for 3 years. Because you know what the reality is? Somebody will pay him, too, to go elsewhere. So here's what you got to sit here and think of right now as you watch this game is neither of these teams have a defense. Touchdown, Rams take the lead again. The advantage that I got to say that we have over everybody except for New Orleans, as you look at the Rams, as you look at Seattle, as you look at everybody in the AFC North, is we have a better defense than pretty much everybody, except maybe the Bears, but the Bears have no offense. The Rams can score some points, but they can't stop anybody. Yeah, Seattle, that defense looked terrible there. South of Heaven. So people were asking me about your getting jerseys and stuff from you, and wanted to know if it was safe to get it on PayPal and stuff. And I told them that I've been getting jerseys from you since 2012. My original Cowboy Jobu jersey, 2013 was the first one I bought from you. But before that, I got Jason Witten. I think Jason Witten, I think, and DeMarcus Ware jerseys from you. Dallas Portman, I don't know why you think that the Packers are so good. The Packers have not been able to stop anybody in the running game. They have given up over 150 yards on the ground 3 games out of 4. Aaron Rodgers in the offense, they've had, well, really, Aaron Rodgers has only had one good game. I'm telling you, the Packers are not as good as New Orleans. They're not. I don't know why you seem to think that New Orleans beat us. New Orleans, wait. Let's go back here. New Orleans has played the Texans, they played the Rams, they played Seattle, and they played the Cowboys. The only game they have lost is to the Rams when Drew Brees went out and they were shell-shocked. That's it. They faced four playoff teams and are 3-1 and beat Seattle in Seattle, kicked their ass. Now, tell me again what Green Bay has done. Tell me what Green Bay has done. Because Green Bay does not play anything near the competition that New Orleans has. Sorry, they just have not. Dallas, I don't understand why you think that that Green Bay is that great team. I'm telling you, that's one of those teams that's overrated. Overrated. Little touchdown. Thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it. I mean, that Packers, okay, think about it. They gave up 176 yards on the ground to Philadelphia. Philly. I'm telling you. Green Bay. Now, that's not to say that they won't win because Aaron Rodgers is a magic man. But, thanks, Mike. I appreciate the super chat. I'm sorry. Not Seattle. Green Bay is not that good a team. They've got a 3-1 record. Wait, let me pull back. I have a brain fart here. I know they played. Hold up. They played Chicago. They played Denver. They played Philadelphia. And they played the Vikings. So let's say it again. Denver, Chicago, Minnesota, and Philadelphia, as opposed to playing the Texans, the Rams, Seattle, and the Cowboys. And they're both 3-1. I think Cam Fleming will be okay with the Packers. The Packers defense has been giving up a lot of points. Russell Wilson does it again with his legs. Boom, picks up about. Oh, fumble. Did he fumble? Oh, they got it back. Woo, he fumbled. If you're happy about sending Victor to the, oh wow, hit the like button. That's cold. Michael Gallup is actually back at practice. He was a full participant today, and he is scheduled to play this weekend. The only person who is definitely out right now is Tyron Smith. Everybody else is practicing, be it limited or not, including Tyrone Crawford. Oh, wow. That's a flag. Damn. That was an incredible run there. But there's a flag. It'll probably come back. But dude got hit. He took it all the way around the back to try and pick up the first down. They ought to give him that first down just because of the effort. Pick up the flag. What's the flag? Oh, it's on the defense. Oh, snap. Open-minded movie man, I haven't heard that his knee is swelling. Again, he was a full participant in practice, so I'm sure they've got him on plenty of anti-inflammatories as well. Now, see, again, his injury is with the meniscus, which is basically the cartilage. They've gone in and smoothed it out. You don't necessarily expect a whole lot of swelling of that. Usually, like if you have an ACL injury, if you sprain your ACL, because the your arteries and stuff and veins and things are with like the tendons going through the knees and stuff. When you sprain a ligament and things, generally speaking, you're actually ripping open some of the veins and things. And so that's where you get a lot of the swelling and stuff in the knee. With it being cartilage, that basically where the bone is basically gone through and made rough spots on it, you typically don't necessarily get a lot of swelling on it. That's the funny thing is my knee's screwed up. And seeing my doctor yesterday was kind of funny because he says I'm a poster boy for these, I call them chicken grease injection. But what they do is they take the cone from a chicken and they get like a gel that they inject 3 series of shots in my knee, and it becomes like a cushion because my meniscus is completely gone and I have a bone that is literally rubbing like this and cutting a groove into the other one. And so as it does that, from time to time you get a piece of bone that breaks off and it gets wedged in there and it hurts like shit. He calls it being a piece of pain breaking off. And then it has to kind of float away and then it'll feel a little bit better. So the meniscus, they've basically gone through and they just smooth that out. So you don't necessarily get a lot of swelling with that kind of injury. Me, my knee will pop in and out of socket all the time, but I've never been one to swell a lot. Russell Wilson drops it right in the breadbasket. There's a flag. What's the flag? It's like they're getting ready to take the lead back over here at the end of the third quarter. So as far as everything that's been going on, if his knee had been swelling up a lot and he couldn't get full range of motion, they wouldn't have been working him in more and more as the practice went on. Yesterday he was limited. Today seemed like he was doing really, really well. So hopefully that continues because we really need that guy. Dick Butkus. Who's talking about Dick Butkus? Kind of lost on the chat here. I apologize. Dallas, here's the thing. You know, Teddy Bridgewater threw 2 touchdown passes on his first game against Seattle in Seattle. You know that, right? As much as people try to make football down to just being the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers played all last year and only had 2 interceptions. But how did the Green Bay Packers do? Did they make the playoffs? Did they have a winning record? Big Ben threw for more yards than anybody else last year. Did they make the playoffs? No. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for a whole lot of yards last year and a lot of touchdowns. In fact, I think Tampa Bay had more passing yards as a team than anybody. Did they make the playoffs last year? Understand, it's about a whole team. The fact that that team lost their quarterback, and unlike the Dallas Cowboys in 2015, fell apart, that team shows you how good they are to still be winning with a backup quarterback. And make no mistake, Teddy Bridgewater can start on a whole lot of teams right now. A whole lot of teams would like to have Teddy Bridgewater right now. I would dare say that Minnesota Vikings would trade Kirk Cousins for Teddy Bridgewater today. Today, right this minute, okay? So don't think that New Orleans is a bad team because, again, their defense creates opportunities for the offense. Their defense shut us down and allowed them to win. What did Green Bay's defense do against Philadelphia? And Green Bay, without having a running attack, Aaron Rodgers can't do it with his arm all the time. And Aaron Rodgers, I dare say, is not the same Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is making passes you say, oh my God, that's a perfect pass. He's still making a lot of plays, but you're not looking at him saying, oh my God, that's the perfect pass anymore. I'm going to say New Orleans is a hell of a lot better team than Green Bay. You beat 3 playoff teams from last year. 3. Green Bay, Yeah. You're checking YouTube on that. Be back. You're checking what on YouTube? Yes, Dallas. But guess what? The difference is Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the supporting cast that Teddy Bridgewater had. Aaron Rodgers, number one wide receiver, is going to be out. He doesn't have a running game. And what did Aaron Rodgers do even though he played all 16 games last year? How many games did they win? How many? Sorry. And that defense of theirs, that defense gives up a lot of yardage. Xavier Woods played last week. Xavier Woods is okay. Tyron Crawford is back at practice, although limited. Oh, Jay, you are 100 on that one. You are 100 on that one. That if we beat Green Bay, they're going to be saying, "Well, Green Bay hasn't beat anybody. Green Bay's garbage." You know that. You know that's how it'll be. Joseph, you tell me, buddy. And you're also talking about playing at home versus playing on the road. Damn, that was holding. How was that not holding on the defense? Third and 17. Here we go. Damn. Oh, you have to settle for a field goal. Well, I think the Cowboys are going to be tested every weekend. It's the NFL. Anybody can beat you. Well, this is tripping me out with this flame that's kind of like doing this whole spin cycle. Yeah, Russell Wilson is basically doing this on his own. Best linebacker in the history of football? God, I'd have to almost say Dick Butkus was definitely one of them. Mike Singletary was another one that was an absolute beast. Yeah, that's what it looks like, a fire NATO. At Tennessee, what Mark say? Bridgewater or Foles next year? Good question, but right now, Bridgewater is actually playing pretty well. Oh, well, let's see, Art, now that's... Lawrence Taylor technically was a linebacker, but he was really more of an edge rusher than a linebacker. To me, I think of middle linebackers as a linebacker. You know, DeMarcus Ware technically was a linebacker, but he's really more of a defensive end. He wasn't really playing linebacker. Charles Haley was considered an outside linebacker, but see, that's not really, there's a difference. Jalen Smith, to me, and Van Der Esch are linebackers, okay? Technically, they're all linebackers, but I think of the man in the middle versus edge rushers because they're two totally different roles. So it just depends on how you look at it. But if you're talking about a linebacker that has to be in pass coverage, that's supporting the line, a middle linebacker, you're talking about um, Dick Butkus will always be one of the best of all times, and Mike Singletary. Now, if you're talking about edge rushing linebackers, that's a different story. Of course, you would have to say Lawrence Taylor, but to me, that's not really a linebacker. Oh yeah, we'll be live streaming during the game. We'll definitely be here. Ray, I forgot about Ray. Of course, Ray was good. He's got a decent wide receiving core, but I tell you what, without Adams, it's not anywhere near as good. Seau was definitely a beast. Good question. I'm not sure. Well, I always do chicken wings. Always do chicken wings. So we know we'll have Jobu wings. Um, hmm. Might do shrimp sliders. And probably going to keep it a little more simple this week. Don't know if I'm going to put something in the smoker or not. I'm not trying to stay up all night like I did last weekend. Derek Thomas, oh man, that was tragic when he ended up dying in the snow with that SUV accident. Derek Thomas was a freak of nature. 3rd and 8. Is that a completion or not a completion? Brandon Cooks land. Did he catch it? Did he not catch it? I think he caught that. Brandon Cooks is still down on the ground. Looks like he pulled it out after the fact. Hits the ground. He's held onto it. He's rolled over. Yeah, that's the first down. But he's still on the ground. I think that's a concussion. Grilling just good old hamburgers. Well, we had black and blue burgers last weekend too. Can I give your wife Sarah a shout out? She loves the fireplace, and it's hard to make. Was it hard to make? Um, no, it wasn't. Well, for me, it wasn't hard to make. This is basically I took cinder blocks. This has got like a cinder block foundation, and I got like stone veneers that are on the outside of it. This was one piece of one slab, and I actually took an angle grinder with a diamond blade on it and cut this out. And I bought a burner. There's actually a burner that I bought actually on Amazon. That's a propane burner that just drops in, and I carried all of the flexible hosing down the side of it, so there's a propane tank that's over there that I have easy access to it. So there's a key system, so I can turn the fire way up, or I can turn it down. So it wasn't hard to build. I should have done like a tutorial with it to show people how to do it. But if you want to email me, cowboysmark94 Gmail, I'll give you all the tips of what I know about doing it. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to get these fire nados like this. I don't know how that happens. It's kind of cool when it does. Just hope it doesn't burn down anything. But I actually love coming out here. This is one of my favorite things that I've done, is being able to sit out here with Mother Nature with a fire. But I'm actually going to get ready to end this stream out here, guys. It's 11 o'clock, and I got to go to work in the morning. And we've been on here eating up the interweb for quite a while. So I want to thank everybody who's came through, watched. I apologize for the earlier streams that kind of messed up. We'll be doing our regular live stream from inside the man cave tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern. And, of course, in the morning, we'll be doing our Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys report. We'll figure out who's going to end up winning this game. Right now, there's 12 minutes and 38 seconds to go. and the Seahawks are down by 2. And I dare say this is a big game for both of these teams. That if the Rams can get a victory in Seattle and go 4-1, that's huge, especially with the problems they have with defense. If Seattle can go up on the division, that's huge for them as well. So, good night, everybody. You ain't got to go home, but it's time to turn off the lights because this party, oh, Lordy, gets harder and harder to get up. This party's over. If I could give you guys any advice, don't get old. It sucks. It gets harder and harder to walk. I'll see you guys first thing in the morning. Thanks for being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Whew. I'm tired, boss. And it's too damn hot. And I gotta take all this shit inside too. You guys still here? Jeez. I can't leave all my gear out. Somewhere out here is the remote. Gotta turn the TV off. Can't find the damn remote to turn off the TV.
That's against the 14-year pro Andrew Whitworth. Right there, you see the head go back of Ziggy Ansah. That takes the first down away. Those are, they've had a lot of penalties in the ball game on Sunday.
Finally found it. Could I get a tool wrench? A tool wrench. We'll work on that. Can't give one to everybody. We've got quite a few of those already. Okay, 3rd and 13. What's going to happen? Oh, snap. All right, I'm turning this off now. And yes, it's locked up. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Thank you guys, as always, for being here, being part of the Jobu Sports Report. I am going to go upstairs and finish watching this. Oh, I need to turn off the light over here. Here, actually, let me show you guys. This is what I love. This is my outdoor heaven. Boom. And actually, let me go back over here. The lights are going to go off in a little bit.